Hey everybody, John here for Big Eye Review. Today we're going to be talking exclusively about fog lights. Everything you need to know, but we're afraid to ask. Okay, so the first question is when to use your fog lights. When to use your fog lights? Well, I'll tell you the time not to use your fog lights, and that's when it's nice weather. You have no snow, no rain, and no fog. There's no reason to use your fog lights. They're not going to help you to see long distance. Fog lights are strictly close, wide. That's it. So, when to use them? When you have heavy fog that you can barely see past your bumper, use your fog lights. In rain, heavy torrential rains, a light rain, you don't need your fog lights, just when it's really heavy. And heavy snow, a light snowfall, you don't need your fog lights. But when you have, I wouldn't say whiteout conditions, a little less than whiteout conditions, use your fog lights. Now, why do I say not to use your fog lights? Well, why not use your fog lights? The main reason is that in today's cars, everything is, well, a pain to get to, and that includes the fog lights. On some cars, you have to remove the complete front plastic bumper cover just to change your lights, which means if one burns out, well, you're going to end up replacing both of them because you don't want to go through this again. The laboring cost just getting to those lights most definitely will exceed the cost of just the light bulb itself. So if you don't need to use them, don't use them. Another reason would be, well, it's added light for oncoming traffic, people in front of you. If your lights aren't pointed properly, you're just going to end up, making somebody angry. If you don't need them, don't use them. Now, the second thing, how do fog lights work? Well, this is a diagram of a filament or a halogen bulb. And these usually cover two types. They cover your driving lamps and your fog lights. You'll notice a lot of the round ones, they look almost exactly the same. There's a slight difference with the bevels in the lens. And inside the light, which you can't normally just see a spot right off the top, is there's a deflector, okay? Opposed to a reflector, a deflector. And what this deflector does is it blocks the light coming from this light from hitting the bottom part of the reflector. So that light only hits the top part of the reflector. And what happens is this light is kind of reversed. So it comes out straight because you have a good deflector, and it stops the light from shooting, everywhere. It'll come out here, and as you see these dotted lines, they kind of represent where the light would be reflected and how it's going to come out on the road, okay? So that's basically in a nutshell how a fog light is designed and how it works to give you that straight cutoff line and that light going down. Next up is, where do I mount my fog lights? Typically, fog lights are placed below and inside your headlights, such as here. These are your headlights, and these would represent your fog lights. Excuse my drawing, but that's as good as I got in art class. When you're driving a car and your fog lights are placed here, you'll see that this line here represents your headlight. This dotted line would represent your high beam. So from here to here would be a high beam. Your fog light, on the other hand, has a straight line. So you want that low as possible. Now the reason for that is when you have rain, snow, and fog, it'll only be illuminated by the fog light when it reaches this line right here. Not when it's here, where you're looking out. Greatly improves your ability to see the road. Very important. How to aim your fog lights, okay? So we've gone to we know that we're supposed to place them under our headlights, and now we got to aim them. So typically you'll take that cutoff line and you'll put that between about 50, 60 feet, 75 feet in front of your vehicle. Remember, fog lights are not meant to see a quarter mile down the highway. They're meant to see right in front of your vehicle. All right? So this is how you would want them aimed. all right? It's very close to the ground, 50, 75 feet max, all right? You want it so that when you're following a car, the cutoff line goes beneath their car and not up in their face. Great way to avoid making the person in front of you or oncoming from getting, from making them angry. Okay, the next thing up is what color is good? Can you guess which color is good? Is it A, 6000K, B, 2500K, C, 4000K, or D, 8000K? Now I'm going to give you a rundown of the colors really quick. The 8000K is something it would be a color like a purplish blue. The 6000K, which I'm sure a lot of us are already common with, is the bluish white light. 4000K, that runs about a halogen light. 4000, 4005, somewhere in that area is a halogen light. It depends because they have different scales. Some are really bright, some aren't. So I would say that's an average color for a halogen. The 2500K is the color you want for your fog lights, and that's a yellow light. You can go a little higher, a little lower, but we're talking, a little bit, not a lot. 2005 will give you a nice yellow light. And why yellow? Well, yellow will reflect, it doesn't reflect less light into your face. It's just that the light that is being reflected into your face is not as aggressive on your eyes. So those little black spots in your eyes don't have to close down even more because the light is so bright that's being reflected back. Although fog lights will minimize the light reflection because of their cutoff, you're inevitably going to get a little bit that's going to come back into your face. So yellow is the best way to go. Now you say, well, why don't they make headlights yellow? Probably because everybody just, really loves the 6000K with that bluish white light. It's a fad. You really only need about 4000, 4005. You can go to a 5000, which is that crisp white light. But the 6000, 8000, if they're really not going to improve your ability to see farther because the light that reflects off of signs minimizes your ability to see past them. Whereas if the light is a lower K, it like I said, it doesn't cause your eyes to squint, and it reduces eye fatigue when you have like a halogen light instead of the 6000K that they're producing. Now LEDs can be made to give off a light that's 4500K, which I think would be ideal for LED manufacturers to produce, and not the 6000K. But that's my opinion, and of course it's like opening a can of worms when you talk about that. Anyways, what I've done is I've contacted the companies here, Pia, Hella, Blazer I didn't contact, actually they're $15 fog lights, I just picked them up, and Rigid Industries. Now, what I'm asking, if they didn't get my emails, of course, they can, if they happen to come across this video, is if they'd like to be a part of this video in part 2, would be that they could contact me, and we'll arrange it. Send me one light. It doesn't have to be a set. I'm not interested in free sets, free gizmo. I'm not interested in that. If you had a returned set that was damaged, but the lens and the pretty much workings of the light are still operational, send it off to me. And I'm telling you, I'd be more than glad to ship that light back to you at my cost. I don't care. I don't want the light. I don't care to have them. I'll buy my own lights when I actually decide which light it is I want for myself to buy. But just send me one so that I could show the viewers which light is good. So send me your best light that you figure would best represent, of course, your fog light division of lights. Another thing is, it's not about money. It's about the light output. It's how good that cutoff line is. It's about how good the bottom reflection that hits the road is. It's all these little things that make up a fog light that make it important. Whether it be LED, halogen, it doesn't matter. And of course, we will be looking at both halogen and LED lights. So you want to hit that subscribe button, because the next video will probably be in 2 or 3 weeks. I can't guarantee when, because I want to give these people a chance to get back to me and see if there's something we can do to work out some sort of arrangement concerning getting the product, showing it to you. That's pretty much it. Anyways, I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss it. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's see how this crap turned out this time. Jeez.